I could throw Dennis Prager on there, but I figured I'll hold off on that one. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I got to take issue with
tunnel vision. We love the idea that if you're not broken and shattered in a million pieces by modern feminism, you love the idea that you would be focused on one man, and you will love that feeling of waiting for him to call.
Okay. I love you, Jed, but let's dissect this a little bit here. It's not modern feminism that is broken women. It's women who have broken women. Okay. It's not some nebulous, fiendish plot. It's women who have promoted feminism, maybe, who are breaking women. That's pretty much what it is. Let's get down to, let's distill it down to like components here. So it is women are doing it because they're acting in their own interests. So really, the only reason I mentioned this on Miguel's podcast, the only reason why feminism was able to sort of become a social force in the first place, right around the end of the 60s into the 70s, like militant feminism, like Gloria Steinem style feminism, Betty Friedan style feminism, which we still hear those who you want to talk about truthy 20th century tropes. We still hear the same truthy bullshit from 18-year-old girls on Fresh and Fit. They're basically mouthing, paraphrasing Betty Friedan, Our Bodies Ourselves. They're basically paraphrasing Gloria Steinem, and they have no idea where they came up with. I don't know where I got that. It just popped into my head. Yeah, because right around 1965, when we had hormonal birth control, and in the wake of that, we had the sexual revolution, the spike in divorces, the precipitous drop in marriages, more women enter the workforce, Title IX, legal Roe v. Wade, in 1972, 3, somewhere around there. Go off the gold standard. Women get credit. They can have a bank account. They're in the workforce, and productivity skyrockets, but mean wages stay the same. These aren't coincidences. Okay. So the broken women of today are the products of an invention that happened in 1965. You want to know why feminism became popular? Because it could. Feminism had been around since since Seneca Falls in 1849. And feminism with the suffragette movement, whatever, first wave feminism, like that. You want to talk about, there's no waves, but like the suffragette movement. Oh, we need rights to vote, right? That's feminism. It's been around for way longer. We didn't say the women in the Greatest Generation were like feminists and they were broken. They were still part. What about the women who were suffragettes? What about the women in Seneca Falls back in the mid 1800s? No, what happened was women could become militant feminists, I should say. They could get their way into college. It's not feminism you're worried about. It's gynocentrism, really. It's tyrannous, is what it is. Androcentrism and gynocentrism are both systems of tyranny. They're both hate movements. Androcentrism and gynocentrism. Patriarchy is a balanced system of organizing society based on evolutionary, the division of labor and conventional sex roles, because we are different. But when we give women the keys to the castle, this is what we get. It's not feminist. Feminism is just a byproduct of giving women the keys to the castle. Again, feminism has been around for a very, very long time in one form or another. It's just been broken up by wars, social upheaval, the Bolsheviks, whatever the hell, like anything that's going on. It doesn't have to be in this country. Suffragettes were in the UK as much as they were in the United States. They were considered terrorists back then. How come they weren't? There's your broken women. Bombing police precincts, assassinating like public figures. Yeah, you might have a case that they're broken. This is not a new development. This has been around for a while. And it wasn't what we called feminism. We just called it something else back then.
And it being all about him and looking into his eyes and feeling like you don't need anything else in the world except him. We love that. It brings us an incredible amount of joy, an incredible amount of security and pleasure and comfort, and we feel safe and all of those things.
For a worthy, high-value man, maybe, perhaps. The problem, again, Jed, is average women don't want to get with average men because they've been conditioned over the course of the last 4 or 5 decades to be indignant, to ridicule men, to never want to have any kind of like conventional gender roles. Oh, we want a moon for him. You cannot look up to someone who is your equal. So when you're like, oh, my partner, this, my partner, using the language of this bullshit, right? I don't want to, because she's kind of changed her song a little bit about that. But like when women cannot look up to a man who is her equal, period. End of story. And that's by basic human nature. Women want to, like she just said, we want to look into his eyes and feel special and and all of these things. To a worthy guy. So it's not so much feminism as it is women's base nature. Women are like that because we've allowed them to through a convention, through an invention that has allowed them to have unfettered hypergamy, more or less. Hypergamy exists with or without feminism. Gynocentrism, it follows hypergamy, but hypergamy comes before feminism. Hypergamy comes before gynocentrism. The feminine imperative, the best interests of women, always comes before any social initiatives or personal initiatives, for that matter. So when we say, women will break rules for an alpha and they will make rules for a beta, right? That's essentially what she's saying, but it's like you put it in like sort of these middle-aged woman prose. That's what it comes down to. Prose. Prose. Essentially that's where it comes, what she's getting into in this sense. But you have to remember that women are looking for they're looking for a guy who is a worthy of submitting their life to, worthy of pairing up with. Because if it was about equality, they wouldn't care about what your status was. If it was about equality, or if it was about love, or it was about, I want to moon over him. That's not what it's about. It's about wanting a guy who can provide, protect, and be parentally invested, but he's also got to be fucking hot. And nothing else but that will do. And when you walk through the airport in Las Vegas, remember, all those women who are like morbidly obese, they're all following the same subroutine as every other woman.
So any woman telling you that that's not true, or telling you, oh, I need to have several guys so that one doesn't become too important to me, broken, shattered, wrecked by modern feminism. Red flag.
Okay. Not wrecked by modern feminism. Wrecked by female nature. There you go. That's the nature of the machine, Jed. Feminism, yeah, you're correct in a social system, a system of social organization, perhaps, but it's not feminism that did that. It's women's nature that did that. It's unfettering that nature. It's making it inconsequential, right? No accountability. Why do you think like Myron and Fresh Show, like that template? Why do you think that is so popular? Because it's so rare for a guy to hold a woman accountable. It is rare for a guy to be able to hold his own like Myron did against Sean Reynolds. It is rare to even hear that, because most guys just pander. They want to be, I hope she sees this, bro. Most guys will mouth the words of feminism because they hope that any woman in earshot will hear it. Hey, you leave her alone, mister.